Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Corey and my interviewee here is
Corrina,
and she goes to the theatre quite regularly. Corrina, let's start with some basic questions for the start of the interview. How old were you when you were first introduced to the theatre?
around 9.
And who did you go with exactly?
I went with the school, my primary school at the time. We won a competition in the Bath Chronicle. And we went to see Starlight Express in London.
That was quite fancy for a young age, isn't it?
It was really good, actually.
And how often do you regularly go to the theatre?
Around 6 times a year.
Why?
I like to see different versions of like the movies that I like. I like them when they go on stage and I see different people take on that character. I like to see how they change the story slightly because obviously like a movie's quite long. Theatre shows, you can't always put a whole movie in a theatre show, can you?
No.
So it's nice to see how they take bits or they amend bits, for the performance.
Yeah. Talking about the show you were just talking about, during that show, what aspects did you find the most important while watching it?
What's that Express?
Yeah.
I absolutely love the fact that the audience were involved, because in the Apollo, you're in your seats, but the skaters come between your seats, so you're very involved in the show. There's a lot of trust within the cast members because they're on roller skates and they're going super fast and doing tricks and things like that. It's the cast is the most important for me. They have to gel together. They have to work together as a team. They you can't have someone thinking they're better than the next person because it just ruins the whole show for me. They have to be equal. They have to come together as a family.
So you all kind of gel together.
Gel together, yeah. They have to, yeah.
Yeah. Still on the basis of that show, how did you feel post and before and after the show?
So excited. I spoke about that show for I don't know how many years after. It was amazing. The costumes, the set, the music, just everything about it was just really amazing. I was so excited to go. I was excited to go to London, obviously when you're little. But I was super excited to go and see a big West End show on stage.
For once, finally, in the end. Away from that type of show now, what would you say your top 3 favourite performances are and your least favourite 3, and why?
My top favourite have to be Michael McIntyre, the first one. He is absolutely hilarious. His stage presence is amazing.
Yeah.
He involves the audience. His whole performance is just silly, and he makes you laugh. And I literally cried with laughter all the way through. My face was still hurting the day after. And then my next one would probably be Darren Brown. He was amazing. That man did things on stage that I couldn't even know where to start. How he did it. He read people's minds. He got you to do things with his mind. I don't know. For example, he made you hold an imaginary balloon and your hands were stuck to that balloon and you couldn't move your hands, and all of a sudden he would just say, oh, the balloon's rising, and your arms would just go without you even thinking about. They would just go in, and then the balloons popped and then it's like, whoa, your hands are together. He was amazing. The set was amazing. He was just fantastic. And my third favourite would probably have to be Grease, because of the singing, the dancing, the cast was amazing, the set was amazing, it was bright and vibrant, and it was just really, really good.
Out of those 3 performances, did you find anything that didn't really appeal to you?
Not in those 3, no, because I think that's why they're my top 3 favourites. I don't think there was actually anything in those performances that I didn't like.
Right, moving on to the final question then. If you could only, for like the rest of time, watch only one type of genre of theatre, what would it be and why?
Comedy. It would be comedy because I like to laugh. I like to be silly. I like to act my shoe size and not my age, Corey. It's fun. It's fun seeing comedians on the stage. There's just something powerful about laughter.
Yeah.
And everyone just being silly for a couple of hours.
And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, what would you just never want to watch again? What genre?
The pantomime.
You just hate pantomime.
Yeah, it's just the same old. It never changes. It's the same jokes over and over again. And I find sometimes with the panto stories, it doesn't gel together. So they'll go on about one thing, and then without finishing that bit up, they'll be on to the next thing, and it's all like a bit muddled and a bit crazy. And I like things but set in place.
You like a structure to the stories. Okay, this story goes here, this story goes there.
Yeah.
And all that type of stuff.
It has to follow a story all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to my least favourites, it was probably Wizard of Oz because of the gel. The cast didn't gel.
Mm-hmm.
Aston was the Tin Man. He was very not Tin Man-y. He was JLS through and through. Like his movements, it was very over exaggerated. He didn't follow the Tin Man as you would say the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz. I didn't like that. My other show was Cirque. I didn't like that. It was like a circus performance, but it was very, very cheesy, very not well put together. And then I did and I didn't like Wicked. And the whole reason I didn't like Wicked was because whoever the sound guy was, he was doing the performance. Obviously couldn't hear what I was hearing. It was so loud. It was so overwhelming. It wasn't a comfortable performance to watch and to listen to because it was so loud.
So it's basically really shit directing and sound design.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, the sound was not great on that at all.
Yeah, going back to the first questions and that one, what actual venue did you go watch these theatres?
I go to the Rondo in Larkhall, Theatre Royal in town, the Hippodrome in Bristol, and it's not the Coston Hall now, is it? It's the Beacon.
Mm-hmm.
I go there. So yeah, they're the main ones I frequent for shows. And sometimes I go to the Forum because they do put shows on there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And going back to when you mentioned about comedy and all that, would you actually be more detailed with it and explain what kind of comedy you like?
I like to go and see comedians, funny people off the TV. I've been to see Michael McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to see Lee Francis, who's Keith Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Jimmy Carr. He's very funny. But I do like a good comedian.
Mm-hmm. Do you always go to shows that you are familiar with, or do you go to ones that give you quite a surprise?
No, I don't go to all shows that I'm familiar with. I've taken the children to a couple of shows that I'm completely unaware of the storyline. I know they've been really good. It's sometimes the element of surprise is quite nice.
In sort of, right. Very final question that I've got noted down here. What shows would you go to attend to in the future?
I'm going to see Moulin Rouge in Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. I'm going back to see Jimmy Carr next month. I don't know what else I've got booked actually. I've got quite a few booked for next year. All a bit of a mixture. I'm going to see Darren Brown as well. Again, that'll be the second time I've seen him. And I'm taking the children to a couple of shows. There's like a dinosaur show, and we're going to see Robin Hood. So it's a bit of a mixture, really.
I think that's all the questions we have noted down for you. Well, thank you very much for interviewing.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Just always make sure to like and subscribe, and of course I'll see you guys in the next video.